Welcome to the session of the subject that is specifically related to building construction technology. Now, what is building construction? If I talk about construction, then what comes to your mind first? You may think about a certain type of a building, or you may even think about the house which you are living in. You may think about various apartments around you. You may think about the construction of a bridge as well. If you are living in a metro city, any of the metro cities, you would have seen that there are plenty of overbridges. That is what you call it, right? Overbridges. But it is one type of bridge construction inside your city. Now, you may also have bridge construction above the river, above the sea. The Bandra-Worli Sea Link, located at Mumbai, is one of the best examples of your cable suspension bridge. So, if I say construction, then apart from these structures, you may think about varieties of structures. So, if I say that infrastructure development, now basically construction is divided into certain categories. The first is your normal buildings, the second is the infrastructure development, and the third is the industrial sector. Now, all of these combine together and come to the place called construction technology. So, to reach up to that level, you must start always from ground zero. You have to always start things with the basic concepts. So, this particular subject is about all the basics. It is your ground zero of the large construction industry. So, you always start with ground zero, and here we are going to discuss about the basic concepts related to construction from which you can move further. So, talking about this session specifically, we are going to discuss about the subsurface investigation. Now, before directly jumping into what is subsurface investigation, let me discuss that there is the base of a structure. Any kind of structure, say normal building, G+5 apartment, G+10 apartment, say if you are constructing a bridge, if you are constructing a retaining structure, if you are constructing a dam or a reservoir, say any kind of structures. What is required for its construction is foundation. Now, what is a foundation? It develops your base of the structure. Now, if you say that the structure, let me say that RCC structure. What is RCC? Reinforced cement concrete. If I talk about concrete, it is the basic construction material worldwide existing currently. Although lots of innovation are going on in the material, but the concrete is the basic material from which your structures are built. You also have steel structures, but we shall not discuss about that right now. So, if you are constructing, say, let us say RCC structure, reinforced concrete structure, be it in the form of a beam or a column or a slab or a wall or a foundation, all of these are RCC members. So, where will your foundation come? Below the ground level. This is your ground level, and your foundation shall be constructed below the ground level. If you see any construction working site right now, where does it start? It starts from the excavation work. Why do you do this excavation work? To lay the foundation below the ground level. And what will it do? It behaves as the supporting pillar for your structure. It lets your structure rest onto the ground safely and keep it stable. So, in the picture you can see over here is, the first you can see over here is a small structure. It is a very small structure, normal building, which you would have seen. You might be even living in such kind of house. And the picture you can see here is a high-rise building. Let us say G+10. You just have to imagine. Now focus here, pay attention to the bottom part, the foundation part. In the small structure, in the small building, you can see the depth of foundation. The depth of foundation is less. while in the high-rise building you can see the depth of foundation is more. So foundation shall be actually divided into two categories, shallow foundation and deep foundation. Now how do you decide about shallow and deep? It will depend on various parameters, on type of structures, on type of load coming from the structures. All that shall be discussed, but you are focusing here only on foundation. So let me say that the part below the ground level, which you can see the foundation pillars over here, the part below the ground level shall be known as substructure, and the part above the ground level will be known as superstructure. So we shall divide the whole structure, whole construction in two parts. That is, first is substructure and second superstructure. Now foundation is important for a building. Why? Because foundation is the medium, it is the member which will transmit the heavy load from the top of the structure. The foundation shall act as a means of transferring the load to the surrounding subsoil safely. The surrounding subsoil, I shall call it as subsoil because you are talking about the soil surrounding the foundation where the load is to be transferred, is to be transmitted. I shall call it the subsoil. So the main function of your foundation is that it will safely transmit all of the load coming from the structure and distribute it evenly to the subsoil, and hence keeping your structure stable. Okay, so let us discuss about the basic functions of a foundation. Now you can see in the picture over here, this is a normal framed structure. Now you have two types of structure. First is framed structure, second is load bearing structure. Now what is a load bearing structure? In a load bearing structure, there will be no beams and columns. Beams and columns are actually provided for load transfer, right? So in that you will just have a slab, and the slab shall be supported with load bearing walls, and then the foundation below the ground level, and that will be a load transfer mechanism directly. Now what is a framed structure? In a framed structure, the load transfer shall be from the slab. From the slab the load will go to your beams, from beams to the column, and from column to the foundation, and foundation to subsoil. So this is your basic framed structure which you are seeing currently in the modern construction world. So what are the functions of foundation? I already discussed, I already defined it technically that it is a structural member which transmits the load. But there are also other functions of the foundation which are helpful for any type of construction you want to make in the world. So it distributes the load of superstructure. Now you should know, if I say superstructure, if I say substructure, it should be clear to you because you have to listen to everything which I am saying very carefully. So distributes the load of superstructure over the large area, that is the surrounding subsoil area, which is itself its technical definition. Second, if you have non-uniform load distribution, let us say you have asymmetrical structure, let us say one column is heavily loaded, another column is lightly loaded. So in this case you have non-uniform load distribution. So in that case foundation, the study of foundation, the function of foundation is important. Next, for building any structure you need a flat leveled surface. What is going to be provided? That flat surface will be provided by foundation. Next, it behaves like the foundation is anchoring your structure. It is holding your structure into the ground. That is also its function. You can take it as much deep as you want depending on type of soil and requirement. Next is undermining. That undermining means let us say that rats. Suppose rats are burrowing animals, right? They make tunnels for themselves, they dig the soil. And if it reaches to the foundation, it can cause sometimes damage. So foundation will keep your structure safe from the burrowing animals as well. You cannot do anything about these animals, so foundation is also, let us say that it is one of the functions. and the special types are used for specific conditions. Let me say that if you are constructing a structure under sea water, then it will be very much prone to sulfate attacks, right? To salt attack, to chloride attack. So in these cases, you may have special type of foundation. So this makes your functions. Let us discuss further. So now, moving to the topic, subsurface investigation. Now, we have plenty of words for these. We have plenty of terms for this. I can say subsurface. Subsurface means the soil, the surface below the ground, the subsoil, right? So you can say subsurface investigation, subsurface exploration, site investigation, site exploration. There are variety of terms used for the same. So before starting any construction, before laying any kind of foundation, what you need is you have to collect the data of the soil. You have to collect the data of the soil. Now, how is it done? It is done by certain methods. We have lots of methods existing in the civil engineering sector to find out what kind of soil you are dealing with. Why is it important? Because depending on the type of soil, you will have to decide that what kind of foundation you are going to provide. Let us say if the soil is containing a large amount of clay soil, say black cotton soil. You are familiar with black cotton soil. It is a type of clay soil, and the clay mineral present in it makes it, gives it the effect of cohesiveness as well. So let me say that this cohesive soil, the black cotton soil, if you pour water into it, it will absorb water, it will undergo volume expansion, and simultaneously if you evaporate the water, it will undergo contraction. Yes, correct. So if this type of soil is what you are dealing with, then you may have to provide certain special type of foundation to avoid the undesirable pressure on the foundation because of its extreme volume expansion and contraction. So this is just one type which I am discussing. We have lots of types of soil depending on which you have to provide the foundation to keep your structure stable. So because of this reason, the soil investigation, the site exploration is very much important, and we have lots of methods to find out the type of soil existing at the particular site. In the image you can see over here, this image you can see, this is a borehole. Now you know what is boring. Everyone has seen in their day-to-day life that at some places water comes from the boring. Pump is inserted and the water is extracted from groundwater, and that makes your kind of boring. So here you can see is the basic type of subsurface investigation method in which a borehole is created, boring is done, and the soil sample is extracted, it is removed and sent to laboratory for testing, and the reports will decide what is the bearing capacity of soil. See, now I am using another word, bearing capacity. Let me say safe bearing capacity or soil bearing capacity. It means that it will be the amount of load which the soil can carry up to its permissible limit, and if the load exceeds that point, it may cause settlement, and that settlement will damage your whole building. So safe bearing capacity will be decided based on the reports. Not just bearing capacity, we have lots of soil properties which shall be decided based on the reports. So this is why subsurface investigation is important. The second picture you can see over here, with the help of a crane, you are inserting something like, let me say, a screw material. You know what is a screw. If you are inserting a screw into its hole, then what will be the mechanism? You will rotate it because it is helical in shape. So similarly, you have a large equipment over here which is in the shape of a screw, and you are inserting it like a screw into the ground. So what will happen as you screw it into the ground, then it will cut the soil around its sample, and that will be collected in the helical blades, and while lifting it vertically back, then you can say the soil sample is collected. Now this type of equipment is known as auger. This is one type of boring. You are creating a borehole with the help of auger. You will call this as auger. This is helical in shape, just like driving a screw into the ground and lift it vertically. The soil sample will get stuck into its sides and that makes your soil sample. Next, you can see in the bottom image, here you can see that a large area is to be covered. A large site is to be covered. Then what you will do is, we have certain geophysical methods based on the concepts of physics. We have different geophysical methods, which you can see over here is seismic refraction method. We shall discuss about the same further when we talk about specific subsurface investigation methods. So for now, you have to understand what is subsurface investigation, site exploration, and why it is important. So let me move further. What are the exact purposes? What are the exact purposes of your site investigation? Now again, look at the picture here. The auger is operated, but in the previous picture, what did I show you? That it was connected to a crane and it was mechanically driven into the ground. And here you can see that with the help of rigs and handle, the man himself is manually carrying out the auger boring method. So it depends on your depth. You can either do it manually or you can operate it mechanically. So the main functions, the main purposes of your subsurface investigation shall be: first, it is very obvious now. You should be able to picturize in mind as well that why do you need to carry out that, to fix the depth of foundation, whether you will provide deep or shallow. SBC, as I discussed already, safe bearing capacity of the soil. You have to decide it so that you can design the foundation accordingly. Next, I already said about the settlement as well, that in any case, if your foundation undergoes undesirable settlement due to plenty of reasons, then you can predict that from the type of the soil. Next, to know the underground water level. Now, why is underground water level important to us? Because let me say that I am carrying out excavation of 10 meter. Now, in current structures which are built, basement has to be provided. It has become a compulsion to provide a basement. Why? Because of lack of parking spaces, right? So basement is to be provided in the modern construction, in the residential buildings, in the commercial buildings, educational buildings. So to construct that, your depth of excavation has to be more. And if you are getting interrupted with the underground water level when you are carrying out excavation, it can be disastrous. So either you have to pump it and remove it, or you have to find alternative. So to know the groundwater level, this is going to help us. And the last is to decide the safe and economical type of foundation, and also to evaluate the earth pressure. If this is your structure, the earth is constantly going to exert pressure on your structure. So to evaluate the same, we have to carry out this investigation. Next, how will you decide? How will you decide what type of method you are going to use? How will you decide that? So first, it depends on the, yes, very good, on type of soil. Directly it will pop into your mind that what is the parameter which we have to take care of when you are deciding the method of exploration. In the previous pictures, I showed you about boring. I showed you about auger boring. I told you about large area where geophysical methods are used. So there are different types of methods, and depending on the first nature of soil, the type of soil, you have cohesive soil, you have cohesion-less soil, that is clayey soil and sandy soil respectively. You also have soil containing gravel, soil containing boulders. So in this different type of soils, you have to opt for right method of investigation. Otherwise, if you say you are having a soil containing plenty of boulders, and with the help of vibration, if you are providing, let me say that due to boring, vibration is created, then it may be disastrous. So if there are boulders and there are rocks, then drilling method proves to be better as compared to borings. So depending on type of soil, different type of methods are selected, which you can see over here as well. Next is the topography of the structure. You can see in this image, I have taken a normal type of topography for a, let me say a mountainous region, right? So if there is even a mountain, tunnels are constructed, buildings are constructed, a full town is developed, right? It doesn't stop it. Your construction is not stopped because of mountainous region. So based on the topography, now I have shown here vertical and horizontal. So for vertical, you know that it is below the ground level. Sometimes you may even need to provide core drilling and cut the mountains. An example of tabletop runway, right? Currently it is trending, if you know about it. What is a tabletop runway? You are cutting off the cliff. You are cutting off the cliff and constructing the runway for an aircraft. And where this runway ends, that bottom part shall be having your valley. It means you are just cutting off the mountain, cutting off the cliff, and on top of that you are constructing your runway for the aircraft. So what happens is, based on the topography, you have to select right method of investigation. For tunnels, for runways, for all those things, it will be your horizontal excavation, and below the ground level shall be your vertical excavation. Next is the cost. This is a very obvious thing, that for any kind of structures, for anything, cost and economy is important. So keeping in mind all of these factors, it is important that economy is also maintained. Next, I am talking about the last thing, that is depth of exploration. So what will be the depth, right? Up to what depth you are going to take your exploration, you are going to take your, let me say, if you are using the method trial pits. Trial pits means excavating pits. The picture you can see here, with the help of a dozer blade, here pit is excavated, and from that your soil samples shall be collected at regular intervals. Now why at regular intervals? Because the soil layer shall be changing periodically as you go deeper. So we have a rule that if you have the probable width of the footing, then your depth shall be 1/2 times the width of the footing, or fix it is 1.5 meter. Whichever is more, that will be your depth of excavation. Next, we shall discuss about soil samples. You can have two different types of soil samples. First is disturbed sample, and second is undisturbed sample. In the picture you can see the man is taking a soil sample. Now what is disturbed and what is undisturbed? If you are collecting with the help of an auger, now when you drive the auger into the ground, it is going to disturb your soil conditions. It means that it will alter, it will modify certain properties of the soil which is existing in natural condition. So if you collect the soil sample in such a way that its properties get altered or modified, that is your disturbed sample. And if you are collecting the sample in such a way that your soil properties remain intact, the structure remains intact, then that will be your undisturbed sample. The test reports vary based on that, but for certain methods there will be certain limitations. Again, you can see that carefully undisturbed sample is being collected. It is preferable to collect undisturbed sample always, but then it depends on your type of method which you are using. So students, that was all about the introduction related to subsurface investigation. We shall discuss about further its methods in the next session.